Welcome to this special yours truly coffee with Adrian H. Dragonborn being reborn with every step, every push up, every hawk, every squat, every cup of coffee, every sun ray, every moon that I see. Full moon Monday, the 20th election day. I'm boycotting as a Canadian who was an American twice in past lives and countless incarnations across nations during the timeline, sunrise, sunset, midday sun. Yours truly, Adrian H. Born Dragon, who died during COVID, although. Remember the motto of the dancing goddess who dances with her bird, the sun, to make, create, and produce all ALL fruits, vegetables, and legumes. Even this black coffee bean, which comes from a green berry that yours truly, Adrian H. Born, begin reborn as Adrian Hanna Dragon, is drinking now. Black. No sugar, only doing the Sabbath, the 37-hour, 49-minute, 42-second, almost 38-hour Sabbath beginning Friday at midnight in Hawk Island. So Sabbath in a few hours. It's 3:58 p.m. EST, 3:58 p.m. EST in Hawk Island. So the Sabbath is 8 hours away. Yours truly got some laundry you need to attend to after this special coffee with Dragon. Yours truly hour. Gonna be doing some training of the brain. This thing called reading. READING. Say it with me. READING. READING. Gonna do something that's called reading since I've gotten an email and there was something about finance in a parallel life. Yours truly, science, innovation, technology, and finance would have been a chosen path. Yours truly diverged a few full moons ago, and the arts, artistic, spirituality, philosophy, yours truly, the body, working out, training, exercising, has been, is, and will continue to be medicine and therapy for yours truly. So, spirit, if you don't know that, you will know that I'm a universal spiritual teaching student because I'm learning things every day, discovering mystics of this spirituality. We call him Western civilization and universal spirituality. Yours truly, Adrian H. Dragonborn, being reborn with every push up, every squat, every hawk, every cup of coffee, every reading that I'm doing as yours truly, Adrian Hana Dragon, ADRINHANHDRAGON. The blood, sweat, and tears, and thousands of push-up, squats, hawks, and marching and dancing steps to turn that A into an O. And yours truly, priestess of the goddess that dances with her brother sun, which you can see the emblem there, the emblem and the flag of the dragon army, the emblem of the dancing goddess empire, which is one empire under the sun, on the stars, on earth, with the dragon whose eye is the sun, which the dancing goddess dances with her brother the sun, receiving a kiss from the goddess of infinite space, infinite stars above, to regenerate by that dance via the starlight and moon, new moon, full moon. Coming in 3 days, September 20th, 7:18 p.m. EST in Hawk Island. Yours truly, Adrian H. Dragon, gonna be doing a little bit of reading, perhaps 42 minutes, 37 minutes, almost 38, perhaps like the Sabbath, which begins in 8 hours at midnight every Friday. Got myself 3 legal joints that I've actually found, retrieved about 13 days ago on the march, and have a little bit of leftover. I'm not a daily cannabis, legal cannabis smoker. I'm a recreational cannabis smoker, and to be honest, I'm really smoking because I'm really sore from working out, training, and exercises, and still slightly more or less often nowadays a bit still upset that I cannot afford a massage therapy. Yours truly, having had 3 essential temporary jobs during the COVID, right now financially stressed. A little bit on the stress. However, that stated, with the financial crisis aside, yours truly is boycotting the Canadian election, since one main principle that I'm boycotting this election, unwanted, unwarranted, is not even one of them said, I love you, I love you, I love you. I love you like this. I love you soft, I love you hard, I love you rainbow, dragon eyes, the Super Bowl. So yours truly, not even one of schmenksy, not even one said, I love you. I love you. This love urges that is driving us towards semi-suicidal, semi-homicidal rages, and has been since decades. Yet admitted, it took me 13.3 years as to struggle, and I've struggled with more depression, being suicidal, not admitting, not being in the open, that yours truly is bisexual. And of course, now I'm open, it's been about 7 years that yours truly is bisexual, pansexual, and you know those things that we let crooked in the dark, that things we hide, you know, the fears, the hidden hatreds, the lust, the struggles that we had, whatever it is, XYZ, financially or romantic or love or whatever have you, from trauma. Yours truly have lived enough trauma, healing, still healing every day. With every breath, and that 7-letter word FREEDOM is definitely a sword that with my tiny hands got the tiny Trinity. Yours truly, Adrian Hana Dragon. Tiny hands, tiny feet, and a tiny dicklet, androgynous. Yours truly. That we got that out of the way again for the perhaps 92nd and will soon to be 93rd time. We can proceed to education, to healing, to regeneration for my allies and armies in my name, Adrian Hana Dragon. May be regenerated, healed, blessed with trillions of kisses from the goddess, push-ups, hawks, marching steps, dance, hug, love. Get dirty but get back clean. Don't forget hygiene. Wash your hands when you go outside in public, when you go touching in a grocery store, in a supermarket, in a bank or whatever have you, to hit hygiene, because people's hygiene differs. You know, we sometimes we're just forgetful. We got so many things on our minds, so much stressful. Freedom is not insured, freedom is not secured, and that is the mission, vision, and philosophy of the Dragon Zero, yours truly, captain of the Dragon Army. To secure and ensure freedom by the 3 elements: sacred, divine, holy. Which the Dragon Army will secure and ensure those 3 sacred and divine elements are food, housing, and transport for all. Transport so that people can get the food, can socialize, volunteer, do community work, learn, and of course in emergencies and work and travel and exchange, and do art and dance and recreational and workout and train exercises, which has been, is, and will continue to be medicine and therapy for yours truly, Adrian H. Born. Being reborn with every step, every push-up, every squat, every hawk, as yours truly, Adrian Hana Dragon, androgynous pansexual, founder of the Dancing Goddess and the Dragon Empire. Yep, we need a little bit of, can't afford to get a haircut. I'm gonna probably wait for my sister friend, oftentimes teacher, the one I love to call sister, to come back, and we'll cut my hair then for world peace. So yours truly, Adrian H. should die during COVID, being reborn, Adrian Hana Dragon. See, auctioning this piece. I've yet to receive the first donation for a commission for a ranting workout, exercise, video, general war, integrated total body training system, which one is going on live right now, which I performed yesterday. Oh, what fell down? The flag of the dragon fell down. Red dragon, this is the flag of the Dragon Army. And this is the emblem of the dancing goddess. Alright, put them back here. Alright. Back. There we go. The Dancing Goddess and the Dragon Empire, one empire under the sun, under the stars on earth, for world peace, international justice, global freedom, and attaining harmony between civilization and nature. If you don't know what I'm referring to, is yours truly, who died, Adrian H. Dragonborn, died during COVID, had COVID, although got my 2 shots. I'm willing to get the 3rd. Got it right here in the forehead of the goddess, Godds. Yes, I said that 7 holy, sacred, and divine name. There's no God without a goddess in my universal spirituality. Take it or leave it. Freedom is a double-edged sword. And perhaps the system of sister priestesses come in our temple. The irrational world which I've chosen as a parallel path, which in another life, science, innovation, and technology would have been a path. For yours truly, science, innovation, and technology would have been a chosen path, diverged towards the spiritual, the artistic, the philosophical, the emotional, the irrational, and also the physical. But they can not have to be in conflict. They can work together, and they can be in cooperation. Science and of course spirituality and psychology and the irrational world. I got priestesses of the subconscious forces. They're having some dreams. And what is this mess? Getting XYZ dreams doesn't make sense, but they are irrational forces, the impulses. So if we have aggression, if we have violence, if we have force, and believe me, I've dealt with a lot. I've been on the university of the streets many years, alone, financially in a crisis, struggling with precarious employment, you name it, but chosen to spend many hours in the libraries of the city of Montreal, Hawk Island now, many past years. I've written a lot of theory, many thousands of poetry. Part of it is, of course, the debt refusion theory, and spending many years in the library. Thousands of books became my friends. I forgot 93% of it, but perhaps retained 7%. The most important thing is also world peace and love, but love works also by action, because blah blah blah, I've been dealt with organizations and this and proposals and nothing gets done. And this, so I said, what do I do during this call? What do I do? I said invest. I have no money to invest, not even now. Pocket's empty. But the good news is my rent is paid in my room house in Temple. Rent is paid, 13 days. Rent is paid for September. Got food. Calculate I got food to survive for a few more weeks, maximum about 38 days with all the food that I got, perhaps less. But got some sardines, got some food to survive, to work out, to train, to exercise, and to give more poetry and put this either raw, real, revolutionary, online. Yours truly, Adrian H's Dragon, this creativity, passion and will and love for all my allies and armies in my name, Adrian Hana Dragon. May you be blessed with regeneration, healing, wisdom, understanding. From me, from the armies who pledge your allegiance, dancing goddess and the dragon army. The dancing goddess and the dragon empire, one empire under the sun and the stars on earth. And remember the mottos: all fruits, vegetables, and legumes are made, created, and produced by the dance of the goddess with her bird, the sun, just as those yours truly in this past life. In this life, I've realized and discovered how fucking useless I can fucking be. And who pay respects, and as a leader will go and give massages to the farmers, to the peacekeeper soldiers, my allies, citizens, armies, what I have to do for them for their pleasure. The body is a temple for pleasure and for purpose. I've realized how fucking useless I can fucking be without no food, no grow, nothing. I do have some experience. I've been a few seasons. I do have some experience in farming. I have some experience in local urban farming. I've been with some community organizations projects. So did plant, sow, and harvest some fruits, legumes, and vegetables, the basics. So in theory, I could retain some of that information, and I could. But I mean generally, right? Just through the labor of many, we can get my $756 paycheck on welfare. I'm not getting the $2,000 from the government. It's XYZ reasons, but nonetheless, the welfare to people to survive, to pay their rent or whatever they have, is for a lot of struggle. And yes, we have economic inequalities. I know I've been calling from the athletes, NFL, NBA, NHL, and MLB, who have been rewarded so much financially to give at least half to the Dancing Goddess, to establish Dancing Goddess League in parallel to patriarchal leagues, of course, in order to dance for the Mother Nature and to clean the environment, clean the oceans, rivers, waterways, lakes. Complementary Dancing Goddess, complementary covenant institution, Dancing Goddess Army to the Dragon Army, two sides of the same coin, if you will. The Dancing Goddess Army to organize mass dancing events for the mass cleaning of the oceans, rivers, waterways. The Dragon Army to secure the three elements of civilization: food, housing, and transport for all via public-private partnership. And my theory put of debt refusion, taking all private and public debt to create a global central bank by biometrics. Dragon zero out on this. Love you. So now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to be reading, since I received an email in the parallel life, finance, banking, commerce was a parallel life. However, in this one, the irrational, artistic, spiritual, psychological was the chosen one. So I've received an email and I've checked. I've received the information. I said I'm going to do a reading on finance, on it. Well, Coffee with Dragon. I've done many in the past years. You can check Coffee with Dragon. Although, of course, the quality of the video, the images are not that good, but hopefully the message, and the message is more important than this one, the voice and the vision of yours truly, Adrian H. Dragon being reborn, Adrian Hana Dragon, androgynous pansexual founder of the Dancing Goddess and the Dragon Empire and the Phoenix People's Party, anti-war, anti-poverty, anti-racism, pro-love, universal revolutionary centrist party for world peace. So, received about an information from on an email, subscribed on financials, know a little bit about it. I've forgotten a lot about it. A lot of getting a black sword hit in my head a few years ago, and packed by regeneration, healing will, and working out, training, exercising. Lost more than 77 pounds up to this moment in time. Anybody willing to join the Dragon Army, you got to be able to do the General War Integrated All Body Training System, which the rules are. You got 93 minutes, a lot of time to do 100 push-ups, 100 squats, 100 hocks. That Trinity, hocks, push-ups, squats, Gotta do 100 for each. Maximum 13 repetitions per set, minimum 3, anywhere in between 7, 10, 8, whatever the number is in between those, you gotta be able to do 7, 8, 9. I've been doing stretch to 10. I performed 213 sessions indoors in my room, office, and temple ever since. I begun it in October 2019 after yours truly, independent student, scholar of history, wars, geopolitics, civilization, world peace advocate, and independent security theorist and analyst. After having experimented with different workout techniques and having analyzed that we are on the path to World War III by taking into consideration the US-China trade war began by the Trump administration in 2018, along with the arrest of Meng Guanzhou, aka Cathy Meng, the chief financial officer of Huawei, the biggest telecommunications equipment maker, smartphone telecommunications equipment maker, while overtaking Apple and Samsung to become thus, and the subsequent arrest of Michael Kovrig, Michael Spavor by authorities in China triggered the, of course, Sino-Canadian, Sino-North American, Sino-Western diplomatic relations political crisis, which has escalated in the past days, weeks, and months, even to a further point making parallels to my scenario, which I've created to go hand in hand with the aforementioned General War Integrated Body Training System, aka the 300 workout, which paradoxically as a world peace advocate have been, am, and will be, although perhaps it's too late to re-establish cordial, friendly relations and mutually beneficial relations, Sino-Canadian, Sino-North American, Sino-Western relations, although for what it seems is that we are past the point of no return. However, on COVID, my Trinity, although got the 2 vaccines, encourage everybody to get the vaccine. As for the mask, we all wear masks anyways. Better not to look my face too much. I'm not too pretty. So better wear a mask in the public. However, in the private, like my room, office, and temple here, if I want, got the freedom to turn this off and get naked, get my clothes out under blind. So if anybody passing, they got privacy and dance naked and just keep on rocking in the free world, baby, if I want my privacy of my own home. And have an ORGY from the Dancing Goddess and the Dragon Army. Although, one-man operation at the moment. Adrian Dragon got a little kid telling me push-ups, hawk squats, a 14-year-old kid. And the sun shining on him. Push-ups, squat is dragon, push-ups. And these archangels kick me in the head, and then kiss me. Quite a paradox. Anyways, of course, I'm hovering. My friend, oftentimes teacher, Ron, I love him, called sister, that Trinity, 4th dimension, being my one and only financial sponsor at the moment. I think she got me these. I got them secondhand, don't know. Nonetheless. Anyways, so I'm going to nominate her as the Chief Education, Information and Communication Ministry of the Dancing Goddess and the Dragon Empire and the Phoenix People's Party. Anonymous for now. Anyways, so that being stated, yours truly, my allies and armies, be blessed with millions of kisses of regeneration from the goddess that dances with a bird, the sun, with millions of push-ups, millions of squats, millions of hawks, millions of dancing moves, dancing steps, to be able to do yours truly, all my allies and armies. That's my blessing unto thee. My blessing unto the rest. Keep my holy, sacred, and divine name out of your mouths if it's not for a blessing. If it's not for a blessing. My allies and armies blessing. Trillions of kisses, marching, massages, pleasure, body, purpose, workout, train, exercise. Get dirty, but we gotta get back clean, royal, regal, and lofty. Dragon Zero, Adrian H, Dragonborn, Adrian Hanna, Dragon Yours, truly androgynous, pansexual, founder of the Dancing Goddess and the Dragon Army. Back to finance. Triple witching hour. So I received a little bit of an email, and I've been reading about finance this morning. And I've decided to do this coffee for Dragon for World Peace, and of course I'm calling for debt refusion. My theory that I've written and developed in the past years of struggling financially, economically, emotionally, with depression, suicide, loneliness, you name it, addiction, and working out, training, exercise in the past years has been, is, and will be, continue to be medicine of choice. As has been the General War Integrated Body Training System, which I've created, designed, and made to go hand in hand with the World War III scenario, which in a paradoxical, providential, parallel way has and resembles the COVID-19 health and financial crisis. Resembles it, as I got my 2 vaccines right here in the forehead of the goddess. I've said and will say it again and before, that yours truly, in 2019, as an independent student, scholar of history, wars, geopolitics, civilization, world peace advocate, and as an independent student, scholar of security issues, have said in my analysis that we are on a path of World War III, we as in humanity, Western civilization. And so decided to create a new workout training system designed for such an eventual crisis. The Western world, based on my analysis of the US-China trade war, the arrest of Meng Wanzhou, the arrest of Michael Spavor, Michael Covert, consequently by China, and historical events such as Pearl Harbor. So in my scenario, there was a stock market crash. Parallel, in the providential parallel way, the stock market crash due to COVID occurred, began February. Stop throwing filth, dirt, and poison in my eye, brother. You're bisexual too, aren't you? Stop lying. You're hiding. You're hiding. So many percentage big of you. Anyways, so back in October 2019, I've created, designed, and made a program, workout program designed, made, and created to go hand in hand with the World War III scenario. And since in my scenario, there was a stock market crash, and which resembles the COVID-19 induced coronavirus that started February 20th and ended about April 7th, triggering recessions and depressions worldwide due to the coronavirus in last year 2020, and February 20th to April 7th, according to Wikipedia and other financial, economic, commercial sources. That was the stock market crash began February 20th. It lasted until about April 7th, and then was new measures and a new balance. However, it triggered recessions and depressions in financial markets, in the economies globally. The global corona-induced stock market crash, the COVID crash, as it's called, different names, coronavirus recession by a grand name, who takes and puts under the umbrella the stock market crash, which triggered the coronavirus recession beginning February 20th, 2020. So, my scenario, October 2019, and have documented proof. I've documented my fitness journey, and I'm continuing documenting my fitness journey, my philosophy, my love and passion, my underground rapping a little bit on Instagram, and I know I'll be the secret. Since 1996, I'm an underground rapper. Also an artist, in parallel to being a philosopher, a thinker, poet, world's greatest living dancing millennial rainbow poet, and script writer and short story writer, and yours truly, rainbow LGBTQ member community, androgynous, pansexual, and many, many other things. Stardust, dust in the city of pyramids, the sunrise. Yours truly, Adrian, each dragon being reborn, Adrian, I'm a dragon for world peace. So my scenario, back to 2019, October, I'm gonna go back in time a little bit. I created, designed, and made the scenario to go hand in hand with the World War III scenario, officially titled General War Integrated Total Body Training System. And of course, anybody willingly living to be a member of the Dragon Army, which I'm calling off due to the COVID crisis, which resembled my scenario, having the almost exact, kind of eerie, paradoxical, providential parallel way. What causes World War III in my scenario is a stock market crash, which causes a global financial collapse. 93 days later, due to COVID, because my first session of the General War Integrated Total Body Training System was October 17, 2019. October 17, 2019. October 17, 2019 was the first session. I have now performed 213 sessions indoors in my room off San Temple, and a few sessions outdoors, going around marching. Yesterday was a little bit of dip in the river, St. Lawrence, Snake River, call it, surrounds Montreal, Hawk Island. Gotta be on the lookout. It's a bit dark. I'm just gonna take a look because I have laundry in the sun, so it's gonna be 10 seconds. I'm just gonna peek because I'm gonna have to run to get it if it starts raining, of course. Push-ups, squats, hawks. Push-ups, hawks, squats. Push-ups, hawks, squats. It's just a dark, like, gray, dark cloud passing by, but it does look from this corner that it's a rain cloud, so it might just pass by. But nonetheless, still gotta be, because I want it to rain on my clothes. So I gotta be a little bit extra digit careful, because they're outside drying. I save money on the drying. Anyways, I'm grateful for my friend and oftentimes teacher, the one I love and call Sister. Thanks. I didn't bought a machine. So machine. So save a little bit of money that I don't have anyways. Rent is paid, got money to survive. So back to October 2019, first session of the General War Integrated All Body Training System that yours truly Dragon Zero performed was October 17. Have performed 213, and this workout I've designed, created, and made to go hand in hand with the World War III scenario, which in a nearly paradoxical, providential way resembles the COVID-19 health and financial crises. And since it resembles the COVID-19 health and financial crisis, and in my scenario, there was a solution, and the solution was mobilizing 1% of the adult population of NATO member countries, NATO North Atlantic Treaty Organization Alliance, mobilizing 1% of citizenry, integrating it with all public and private security forces, creating a new transnational force for after the rebuilding, after the destruction, an integrated social security force with dual purpose, if you will. And since I saw that coronavirus started, and I've had it, I was so sick and disease early February until about February 20th. It was very sick and disease. It was like death, pestilence, and disease. It was very, 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 very sick and ill. So take it seriously. I had 2 shots. And after I seen just the coronavirus lockdown, friend, just like in my scenario. And my scenario had a solution. And since I was the solution, since July 24th, 2020, yours truly, Dragon Zero, founded Dragon Army to be that solution, just like in Vision Parallel in my scenario, mobilizing 1% of the adult population, a willingly loving adult population of NATO member countries, North Atlantic Treaty Organization, NATO member countries, North Atlantic Treaty Organization member countries, which there are 30 members, calling Israel to become the 31st ASAP. North Atlantic Treaty Organization, Canada, United States of America, of which yours truly, for my American brothers and sisters, was an American twice in past lives. As a matter of fact, 156 years ago, 718 miles that way, which is, I'm pointing south now. I'm looking south. I can see the United States, all 358, almost, not yet, 340 million. My brothers and sisters in the United States, was an American twice in past life, 718 miles that way, served in the U.S. Army 156 years ago. Yeah, 17, was twice an American past life, a third time, right here, right now. Third one's the charm. Biden, Trump get together, box me and Trump, we're gonna box for world peace. Well, Kanye singing Dragon's Fist are gonna make Trump's nose grow like Pinocchio. Yo, enough with that, bro. Where the world peace smoker joint, yo. On the US-Canadian border for world peace, we're gonna box and tango a little bit, do a little bit of dancing. Anyways, freedom is a double-edged sword. So back to the scenario, since July 24th, I was saying, look, what's happening with the coronavirus, COVID, just like in my scenario, which had a solution. It's called General War Integrated All Body Training System. To integrate was created to go hand in hand with an event, such as with the World War III event. What would happen in that event? You need to get people to mobilize, to be fit in order to do X, Y, Z, right? Whatever it is, and technical, to train the mind, to be able to respond, to do the things we need to do, whether clean, whether defensive, offensive, X, Y, Z capabilities in such an emergency, right? To get all the things done that needed to be done in a destructive emergency situation, such as a World War III, whatever it is. In my scenario, there wasn't necessarily nuclear, although it's the parallel timeline is ongoing, and so it wasn't a nuclear strike, but it was a devastation after the stock market crash triggers a global financial collapse in my scenario, and subsequently World War III begins. Now on COVID, my Trinity, first and foremost, I do not know what caused COVID. Second, I believe it was snakes to human beings which transmitted it. And third, since don't know for sure what has caused it, believe it was snakes who transmitted COVID to human beings. Third, I cannot rule out another possibility, XYZ, being an accident in the lab, a man-made virus, an experiment gone wrong, or a bioweapon. So that Trinity on COVID, I don't know for sure. I believe it was snakes to human beings which transmitted it, the virus, causing people to get sick, ill, and transmit. Third, I cannot rule out another possibility due to my belief in snakes transmitted the COVID to human beings is not 100%. In other words, there is a doubt. There could be another possibility, XYZ. A fourth dimension to that Trinity of not knowing, believing in snakes, and cannot ruling another possibility on what caused the coronavirus crisis. A fourth dimension is what do know 100% without a doubt. Is that before COVID, 93 days yours to Adrian H. Dragonborn, being reborn during this COVID Adrian Hana Dragon, that I've created and designed and made a new workout program, officially titled the General War Integrated Total Body Training System. 7 words, General War Integrated Total Body Training System, aka the 300 workout designed and made and created to go hand in hand with a World War III scenario. And since it had the solution mobilizing 1% of the NATO member population and citizenry, integrating with all existing private and public security forces and armed forces, creating a new global force institution. That's what since July 24th had began advocating for the creation of the International Citizen Integrated Social Security Force, aka the Dragon Army, by public-private partnership to secure the 3 elements of civilization. Those 3 elements are food, housing, and transport. Once we have secured that by the Dragon Army, aka International Citizen Integrated Social Security Force, we can encourage people to work, volunteer, do training, etc. Exercise, do community work, dance, hygiene in public. Dance and mass incentivize the cleaning of the oceans, rivers, waterways in complementary covenant cooperative army, the dancing goddess army with the dragon army, complementary covenant cooperative institutions. God with the goddess, dance with the bird, the sun, so to say. I'm gonna go for a refill and I'm coming back. We're gonna do finance, finally getting into the reading after 31 minutes and 31 seconds. Back to reading on finance. That was Adrian H. Dragon being reborn, Adrian Hana Dragon, androgynous pansexual founder of the Dancing Goddess and the Dragon Empire, which are one empire under the sun and the stars on earth for world peace, international justice, global freedom, securing global freedom. Triple Witching Hour, yours truly. Since I've gotten a email which discussed financial matters, economic, commercial matters of the day, saying that today is a special event, supposedly in markets, and I've heard about it before, but in this life, parallel life, finance, banking, commercial matters were a chosen path, as in another science, innovation, and technology. In this one, spiritual, psychological, irrational, artistic, physical also, for working out training has been and is in medicine and therapy for yours truly. The Triple Witching Hour. Triple Witching Hour is the last hour of the stock market trading session. So we basically began at 3:58 p.m. EST, so it was ongoing. Because New York local time is 1 with Hawk Island, aka Montreal time, or it's the same time zone. Trading session. New York City local time, which is also our time now. So New York now is 4:32 p.m. EST. On the 3rd Friday of every March, June, September, and December. So being in September. Those days are the expiration of 3 kinds of securities. Stock market index futures, stock market index options, stock options. The simultaneous expiration generally increases the trading volume of options, futures, and the underlying stocks, and occasionally increases volatility of prices of related securities. And those same days, single stock futures also expire, so that the final hour is sometimes referred to as the Quadruple Witching Hour. Quadruple Witching. No more burning of the witches. Witches, we need the priestesses of the god to dance with the goddess. There's no god without a goddess. They don't like that, say that goddess. 7 holy letter word, just like freedom still offends many. Well, I get offended too. I get triggered. I got issues and emotions, hidden lusts. I dealt with so much. Sometimes it's time to just be in the open. It reminds me of this, I don't know who tried to blackmail me sexually. And I'm like, good luck with that. You know, I mean, I'm pansexual, so I'm open to all types of sexuality. BDSM, dominating, not dominate, taking, receiving, giving, and all the rainbows in between. 93 shades of rainbow, black and brown, you know. Matter of fact, was in the past life, although in this life I'm only half Jewish, in that past was fully Jewish, was a Jewess working in the as a multi-ethnic. It was in during the Nazi era, right? And before Nazis came to power, during, before and during was like a sex worker, a Jewess, a woman sex worker from 1925 to 1938. So about 13 years, but didn't just, it was different things that I performed, cabaret, serving drinks, massages, what have you, stuff like that. So it was in Berlin, right? So from 1925 to 19, I actually even met the poet Crowley, and during the day the cabaret held from Monday to Thursday. It was regular serving drinks and what have you, and doing things like that. And from at night, it was Fridays, Saturdays, and Sunday nights. It was cabaret, more adult entertainment with private booths and dancing and massages and sex work. Right, I am for legalizing sex work. There's criticism to be done, and as in everything, there's things we can improve. I can improve. I'm not perfect. I got lust issues, financially stressed, precarious employment. I've dealt with a lot of BS, of my own self, not admitting certain things, and self-guilt and self-poison, and that can be psychological or spiritual or stuff like that. So whatever the case may be. However, I was back to this sexual blackmail. I'm like, well, listen, I made a little video last year when coffee. Go ahead, claiming it could be, it could be hacked. I mean, in a parallel life, science, innovation, and technology would have been a chosen path. So it could be that right now I'm recorded, transmitted to 156 laughing fools. Laugh, push-ups, squats, hawks, do a dance, do a little bit of trick or treat. I am asking Kanye West, yay, to marry yours truly androgynous pansexually in a BDSM special switch. Switch marriage for world peace. So there you have it. And my little scar, like my tiny hands and tiny feet, I got a little scar. It's a little clit lit, So being pansexual, rainbow can go black and go gray in between that rainbow. So if I can please any of my allies and armies physically or whatever they want to put a lock on my tiny hiney, and whatever, laugh and just for fun. I'll do my ally and army. I'll let you do it for an hour. Go have fun, whatever. Smack. The things we don't admit, man. Would you like to know? Hey, Mr. Police Officer, you didn't put that on you went to police that you had homosexual experiences when you were a teenager, did you, motherfucker? I still got love for you. No ICAP bullshit. Some are this, some are that, some are this, some are this. We gotta discern. Some are less guilty than others. I could be guilty, but I know I should be perhaps in jail now. But I owe nobody nothing except to the bank of RBC $10,000 and to my friend, oftentimes teacher, the one I love and call sister, perhaps a little bit. Besides that, anybody willingly loving to be my family of Adrian, Hannah, Dragon, please, you're welcome. If not, stay 2 meters away. Keep my holy, sacred, and divine name out of your mouths if it's not for a blessing. So yeah, many past lives, struggling in this one as well, not perfect. I've got things, and we all got different things, right? Imagine knowing. I had a discussion with somebody years ago, and he said he worked for the Secret Service in a parallel life. He goes, but now I'm too clumsy to do all that technical stuff. I'm too clumsy. My hands are too clumsy. I'd rather kiss, massage, wash, read books to adults, teenagers, adolescents, and say push-ups, squats, hawks, and do rap and chant and dance. I'm too clumsy. Clumsy schmuck. Things we do, eh? Things we do. We put on masks, different masks, and the things we do in private when somebody's watching. Although I excel, I want to excel. I'm striving for the best. If somebody hires me or proposes me to do business, I'm open for business 24/7. Want me to do this, to be a watcher, to be a whatever XYZ, and the rainbow in between. Yeah, I could do it. We can do business. We can do business. You know. So that being stated, try to sexual blackmail. Could be that when I was masturbating, watching porn, I struggled. I mean, I do watch. I'm not against it. I mean, fantasies, fantasy life is important. The things we fantasize about perhaps will be disgusting to others, not less to some. Some are this, some are that, some are not. We got to discern. Some are left, some are right, some are in the center, some are in between. Somebody is more gray, more black, more rainbow, shades of red, different shades of green, different shades of all the colors. I mean, it's diverse within diversity, within different populations. Just myself, being rainbow, multi-ethnic, got many past lives. So all of our experiences, individually and collectively, where they do intersect at one point, right? But nonetheless, it happens. Like politicians, and generals of the armies, they got like that. Donald Trump, my challenging on a boxing match. So let me see. Gotta check. Push-ups, hawks, squats, push-ups, hawks, squats. I gotta check because the rain might start. So anyways, I get an email. Hey, we've been able to record you, and it's possible. Like technically, in a parallel life, science, innovation, and technology would have been yours to the Adrian Hunter Dragons parallel life. When I went in parallel life, grew up in Germany, migrated to Israel at the age of 22, and perhaps was one of the developers of NSO and satellites and telecommunications and rocketry. Elon Musk spacecraft type of things, science, innovation, and technology. And satellites and telecommunications and rocketry and computer science in a parallel life. In this one I said spirituality, sexuality, astrology, mystic, art, philosophy, working out, training, exercising, not just blah blah blah, because blah blah blah, I gotta get to wake up a little bit. It's important philosophy, but sometimes it's doing push-ups, squats, stretch, dance, move. Or these new energies are coming, they're more active, they're more intense. In the past decades, the sun is becoming stronger, more powerful. The energies of the sun, Yes, there's climate change, there are human beings. I'm advocating for the mass cleaning of the oceans, rivers, waterways by the Dancing Goddess Army, the mass financing thereof, right? Man, I need to pay my debt 10,000. I'm in need. I'm in need of help. I'm still waiting for the first donation via PayPal. Or a commission for a video, poetry dance, or a coffee rant like this one. I boxed Donald Trump for whatever, man, name your price. For world peace first, advocating here, but I need help ultimately. So what did I do? I started working out, training, exercise. I got with the thoughts, the things we lust, hidden fears. What do? Push-ups, squats, hawks. We got aggression, energy. In itself is not evil. Aggression, being aggressive, being forceful, gotta be channeled, right? Gotta be channeled to love and understanding. Like a child children were more they gotta be more physically active. Well, they gotta have time to do push-ups, to do squats, to dance, put some music, put an instructor, make them dance, make them move, make them sweat, make them love. Let them get dirty but get back clean. Encourage them to love their bodies and not to be ashamed of their bodies. Forbidden, or the poison, right? Yes, I dealt with poison and toxicity in myself, right? My own heart, my own being. It's things we don't admit. I go see a psychiatrist. I go see a psychiatrist, have a big discussion. What? Take incest, right? Sure, I've fantasized sexually about my mother, let's say, whatever. So as a kid, although I don't remember much, have glimpses of memory. And the only family in the past years has been my friend, oftentimes teacher, the one I love and call family, is my sister. Although we all have different biological family. And the Dancing Goddess and the Dragon Empire is not about biology, heredity, or past. It's about my rebirth and all those who want to join yours to lead on a dragon for a new world order of world peace, international justice, and global security in a private and public partnership. As this new technology is influencing us all, technology, satellites, and telecommunications, and the internet. These are since in the past decade, since 1984, the explosion thereof, right? It's an age of wonders, right? Although know a little bit how it works, the Wi-Fi, how it connects to the router, to the Wi-Fi router. Only in the parallel life, growing up in Germany and migrating to Israel, where science, innovation, and technology excelled at top, 1% in that field, in the parallel life. In this life, like I said, spirituality, psychology, sexuality, philosophy, body, history was yours truly chosen path. A little bit of finance, a little bit of this, art, rap, dance, poetry, script writing, ideas, creative ideas. So back to the dragon divergences. I got an email that was kind of blackmail. So, well, first of all, I don't have any money. I made a video, a response video on YouTube. First of all, I don't have any money. That's the truth. You know? First of all, I don't have any money. I don't got any money to give you. A second, in a past life, I was myself a Jewess sex worker, 1925 to 1938, 13.3 years. All right, in Berlin, before the Nazis kicked us out in 38, and they got more radical after Kristallnacht, whatever. So, as a cabaret dancer and scholar, I even met the poet Aleister Crowley, but they were not there for the sex work. They were there for just lunch, because during the days we had lunch. It was a more classy establishment, but in the weekends, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 3 nights a week, there was a more underground, more adult after midnight type of setting. It was a cabaret and sex work and booths and private booths where there was sex work involved and what have you. So in the weekend, so I was a servant, I was a sex worker, I was a entertainer, an artist in that past life, first and foremost. So you got tiny hands, tiny feet, and a tiny clit dick. It's got a little scar on it. You can see that whatever operation was performed, you can see that it was born with the two sexes, intersex, whatever, androgynous, whatever it's called. Yeah, it's, grows a little bit. It's a little tiny scar. Grows a little bit. My tiny scar, a little bit, not too much. But goddess, dance with brother senses, okay. You can trickle it 1,000,000,000 times. So 1,000,000,000 times, that's a billion is 1,000 million. Has 9 zeros. A million has 6 zeros. A billion has 9 zeros. And a trillion has 12 zeros. And it says you can trickle it 77 trillion times. Starlit, like how it says, look up. I said, look up the stars. Trillion. So many times you can trickle it, your tiny little scar, and play. Like, wow, with hell of a healing. I've suffered so much for being androgynous and homoerotic interracial desires and bisexual, and now this goddess who dances with the bird, the sun, who I'm a speck of dust in her face, Isis, goddess bless. She's telling me all these irrational things and counterbalance with mathematics and trillions. I'm like, I'm financially stressed here. What are you talking about? July 24th, 2020. And then the goddess' voice disappeared and I screamed, "Goddess, come back! What did you mean? Priestess!" in a past life temple. So, yours truly, universal revolutionary centrist, androgynous pansexual founder of the dancing goddess and the dragon army. Fuck out of here with your sexual blackmail. I love and be loved, man. To my allies and armies, if I can stroke, massage, kiss, allies and armies will do. Because otherwise, if you're a general in the army, I did a lot of sexual things in the U.S. military. I was my sisters. Forgive them. Some of these fools, they want to be loved, right? I want to be loved. I want to be loved. I want to be love. Desires and urges driving us. It's our natures of many to love, to the body, to appreciate it, towards homicidal and suicidal tendencies and has been since First World War Second World War, and perhaps this is why we have been marching in the past decades or so towards the Third World War since 1989 or so, right? But we gotta find solutions and alternatives, right? We gotta offer things because industries and things are gonna change, but we gotta find the things to channel, right? Because doing is part of it, doing an action, and also being and meditating and the irrational, the subconscious fears and hatreds and all that to be healed, right? And also doing is part of it. Also doing. Just blah 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 is not enough. It's not a solution. Sure, X, Y, Z. We gotta find with solutions. I don't have them all. Shit, I need help. Well, I know September 17, 3 days since full moon. I'm boycotting the election. Let me see if there's no rain. What can I offer? Massages, kisses, go coast to coast, go travel and say push-ups, squats, hacks, bust the dance move, stretch, exercise, work, independence, fitness, captain, yours truly. Back to the sexual blackmail thing. Like I said, I mean, makes me think of that. Although, of course, was and still am in opposition to Donald Trump, and I'm still challenging him to a boxing match on the Canadian-U.S. border made of Canadian aluminum and steel, joint North American one. Opposed his policies, and born with a silver spoon, I resented that. It wasn't honest about that, and X, Y, Z. But however, they came to the point of the sexual thing with golden showers. Right? That's a golden shower. I mean sexuality from politics, from policies, from this. Live it out. Live it out. Adrian Hanna Dragon. Yeah, I enjoyed a golden shower too. So what? So what? Why are you gonna try to blackmail me? And you see, with leaders of the free world, you know, yeah, and the generals and what have you, the army. You gotta be open about our lust, our hidden things that we stress with, that we deal with. Whether it's sexuality, being bisexual, gay, right? Whether it's prejudice, racial prejudice that you have in your heart. You know, stuff like that. If it is, I've struggled. I struggled with it. It's time to be in the open. Struggled with so many things. How many of you don't admit, or you found organizations and you find because of resentment, because of bitterness, because of poison, X, Y, Z, and you go to protest and this and that and this and that. A lot, not all ALL. It's like it's not all ACAB. Right? I don't play with that. You gotta discern. You know, discern, think, ask questions, logic. You know, sometimes the middle path, yours truly has discovered. So yours truly, Adrian Hanna, Dragons, Dancing Goddess, and Dragon Emperor, Phoenix People's Party is the universal revolutionary centrism to ensure freedom. So one last comment on that sexual blackmail event. My life was, well... Things we wrestle with in the night, like Jacob when he struggled. It makes me think of struggle, gets injured, and sun's about to rise. Dawn says, "Let me go." For dawn, sun is about to rise. I will not let you go until you bless me. What is your name? Yay Cave. Yay Cave. What is his name gonna be? Also known as Israel. That's the story. So these deeply mystical things and spiritual things, right? The nature. I don't separate nature, sunrise, sunset. Matter of fact, I'm going on a sunset march. Say by the sun is rising, sun is setting, sun is midnight. So nature, night, starlight, starlit sky, right? Yay! Freedom is a double-edged sword with my tiny hands. Too hard for me to lift solo. Yep, got proposals, got ideas for solutions, ideas for creativity, art, loving, and I think this is what we need to focus on, the solutions. And paradox in a providential pal way, almost mystical, eerie way. 93 days before COVID, alarmed by what was going on in the world, yours truly created the General War Integrated Total Body Training System, designed to go hand in hand with World 3 scenario. Dragon Zero, since July 24th, 2020, had begun advocating for the creation of the International Integrated Social Security Force, aka the Dragon Army, in order to secure the three elements, essentials of civilization: food, housing, and transport by the Dragon Army. Once we have those three secured, we can encourage people to work out, train, volunteer, exercise, dance, get dirty, but get back clean, love, 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 9 to 5, all that. People are going to have to do some work. The Dragon Army, 1% secure food, housing, and transport. Coordination all across sectors. Encourage people to work out, train, volunteer, and exercise. And once we have secured those three, this will ensure freedom. And people will be able to do it with, of course, regulations, rules. So people, there's no abuse. XYZ per citizen, ally, subject. The Dancing Goddess and the Dragon Empire to transport per day or per week. XYZ, let's say 93 kilometers daily, allotted. And if they don't take it, it accumulates, or 37 or whatever kilometers per day. And of course, to move from habitation, relatively easy if they don't get along with others. But of course, not to be abused. So to be maximum 3 per month or what have you, or once every bi-weekly and what have you. So simple, effective, efficient rules. And then we look towards the stars and attain harmony between civilization and nature, masculining of the oceans, rivers, waterways, lakes, with a complementary cooperative institution of the Dancing Goddess Army. So create these two institutions: the Phoenix People's Party, anti-war, anti-racism, anti-poverty, pro-love institution, universal revolutionary centrist political party, and yours truly, Adrian Dragon, calling on all willingly loving to become allies, citizens, supporters, subjects of the Dancing Goddess and the Dragon Empire. For all my willingly loving allies and armies, kisses, rubs, hugs, dancing moves, bless ye in my name. And now we'll finish. Finally, we'll get to the triple witching hour. Yours truly, in debt, financially stressed, and needing help as I am. This September 17, 2021. Still waiting for that first donation via PayPal or commission. For working out, training, exercising, doing poetry, what have you. Triple witching hour is the last hour of the stock market trading session. 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. New York local time on the third Friday of every March, June, September, and December. Those days are the expiration of three kinds of securities: stock market index futures, stock market index options, stock options. Forget all that. Secure the three. See, they're talking about those days are the expiration of the three kinds of securities. We're going to secure freedom here: food, housing, and transport for all. By a public-private partnership and the creation of the global central bank is what yours truly, Adrian Dragon, is calling for. By biometrics, the hand, the voice, and the eye are unique biometrics identifiers. We can do it via public-private partnership, just as written in my debt refusion theory, DEBT refusion theory. So refusing all private and public debt. My private is 10,000, yours. If I'm X1, you're X2. There's hundreds and thousands of X's, millions of X's, hundreds of millions of X's across Canada, US, Germany, Israel, the Western world, free world, so-called free world. Some are freer than others, right? Freedom is more secured or insured or inherited, like Mr. Trump. Got 358 million from daddy, father. As the motto of the Dragon Army is, nobody is born a dragon. This is the essence. Not even yours truly born with a surname Dragon, DRAGN. Biological father, barely remember. I haven't seen him in 30 years. And I remember much. A sister friend, oftentimes teacher, who's been in my family for past years. And all those willingly loving to be my allies, armies, wanting to be the Dragon and the Dancing Goddess family. Your pleasure, allegiance. Those here, allies and armies and family, all willingly loving in parallel to my friend, oftentimes teacher, the one I love and call sister. To that trinity of sister, friend, teacher has a fourth dimension of being my one and only financial sponsor at the moment. In a matter of fact, shout out that I'm drinking coffee with cleaner, pure, filtered water for she purchased, financed the filters for your studio to drink cleaner or purified water. So I got this email and I'm going to finish reading it. Not the email, but the link to it. I've checked Google what it is. Actually not Googled. I binged it using Microsoft. My brother, astrological brother Bill Gates, who I'm inviting along with Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, in my room office and temple in order to ask a gazillion questions. Invite them for a cup of coffee, for world peace, with yours truly, Johanna Dragon. Triple Witching Hour. Triple Witching Hour is the last hour of the stock market trading session, 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. New York City local time on the third Friday of every March, June, September, and December. Those days are the expiration of three kinds of securities: stock market index futures, stock market index options, stock options. The simultaneous expiration generally increases the trading volume of options, futures, and the underlying stocks, and occasionally increases volatility of prices of related securities. On those same days, single stock futures also expire, so that the final hour is sometimes referred to as the quadruple witching hour. Concept and usage. The term triple refers to the extra volatility resulting from the expiration dates of the three financing instruments and is based on the witching hour, denoting the active time of witches. Let's say priestesses, right? Rather than more like the word WHORE. I was slut shaming in the Dancing Goddess in the Dragon Empire. Free love, Adrian on the Dragon to my allies and armies. Consent. Concept and usage. It is often used and is considered industry jargon, along with the term Freaky Friday. Sadler Rick. What is triple witching? Hit and run. Candlesticks. This day-long event, which is sometimes referred to as Freaky Friday, is an important day for short-term investors because the markets tend to be turbulent and unpredictable, shifting erratically as traders attempt to offset their orders before the closing bell rings. So triple witching hour again. Triple witching hour is the last hour of the stock market trading session, 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. New York City local time on the third Friday of every March, June, September, and December. Those days are the expiration of three kinds of securities: stock market index future, stock market index options, stock options. The simultaneous expiration generally increases the trading volume of options, futures, and the underlying stocks, and occasionally increases volatility of prices of related securities. On those same days, single stock futures also expire, so that the final hour is sometimes referred to as the quadruple witching hour. Concept and usage. The term triple witching refers to the extra volatility resulting from the expiration dates of the three financing instruments and is based on the witching hour, denoting the active time for witches. It is used often and is considered industry jargon, along with the term Freaky Friday. Another one for wants to buy this. Adrian Dragon's holy sacred divine hair. So now we are gonna read another one time, and then we're gonna read what the stock market. Triple witching hour is the last hour of the stock market trading session, 3 p.m. 4 p.m. EST, New York City local time, on the third Friday of every March, June, September, and December. Those days are the expiration of three kinds of securities: stock market index futures, stock market index options, stock options. The simultaneous expirations generally increases the trading volume of options, futures, and the underlying stocks, and occasionally increases volatility of prices of related securities. On those same days, single stock futures also expire, so that the final hour is sometimes referred to as the quadruple witching hour. Concept and usage. The term triple witching refers to the extra volatility resulting from the expiration dates of three financing instruments and is based on the witching hour, denoting the active time for witches. It is used often and is considered industry jargon, along with the term Freaky Friday. And now we'll go to the stock market. Stock market index future. Because those are the three. Those days are the expiration of the three kinds of securities. So we're going to read what those securities are. We know what the stock market is, where securities are traded and exchanged. In finance, a stock market index future is a cash settled futures contract on the value of on the value of a particular stock market index. The turnover for the global market in exchange traded equity index futures is notionally valued for 2008 when you were still, as remember, I was saving, investing actually. I began investing for a few years regularly, bi-weekly. In 2008, due to the great financial crisis, also known as the Great Recession, I had invested, saved, and I was working overtime, more than 40 hours a week, more than 40 hours a week. I was like 50 during that time, but due to the Great Recession, my hours were cut from 2008, from February about 2008 till about July 2009, 3 times. From more than 40 to 35, then from 35 to 30, then from 35 to an average of about 25. So I went into depression, lots of struggling. It hit me personally like 3 times. My hours were cut during not even a year, like 9 months. Went from overtime to quite a struggle. Quite a struggle. And the turnover for the global market in exchange traded equity index futures is nominally valued for 2008 by the IBIS, by the Bank for International Settlements, at 130 trillion. 130 trillion. So 1 trillion has 12 zeros because a billion has 9 zeros. Thus a billion is 1,000 million and 1 trillion is 1,000 billion, right? It has 12 zeros. Yes, goddess. Goddess. She just credited the dancing goddess army with 100 trillion kisses. Finish Space Invaders stars above. Wow. So you can finance the dancing goddess army with 130 trillion kisses. Kiss. So in finance, the stock market index future is a cash settled futures contract. Stock index futures are used for hedging, trading, and investments. A hedge is an investment position intended to offset potential losses or gains that may be incurred by a companion investment. A hedge can be constructed from many types of financial instruments, including stocks, exchange-traded funds, insurance, forward contracts, swaps, options. Trading. A trader is a person, firm, or entity in finance who buys and sells financial instruments, such as a forex, cryptocurrency, stocks, bonds, commodities, derivatives, and mutual funds in the capacity of an agent, hedger, arbitrator, or speculator. And investments. To invest is to allocate money with the expectation of a positive benefit return. So that is stock market index futures. That's one of the 3 kinds of securities. We just read stock market index futures. Let's go now to option. Stock market index option. Stock market index option is a type of option financial derivative that is based on stock indices like the S&P 500 and the Dow or the Dow Jones Industrial Average. They give an investor the right to buy or sell the underlying stock index for a defined time period. Because index options are based on a large basket of stocks, investors are able to gain exposure to the market as a whole and take advantage of diversification. Index options may be tied to the price of either broad-based indexes like the S&P 500 or the Russell 3000 or to narrow-based indexes, which are limited to a particular industry. The global market for exchange-traded stock market index options is notionally valued by the Bank for International Settlements, BIS, 368,900 million in 2005. So it's probably grown since then. Yes, Dragon whose eyes the sun. We've just got 368,900 million from the sun, the eye of the dragon. Push-ups, hawk squats for the dragon army, Dragon Zero. The dragon and the goddess is blessing us with kisses and push-ups and stock and hawks and squats and marching steps. We equalize the stock market index option. Stock index option provides the right to trade a specific stock index at a specific price by a specified expiration date. A call option. A call option, often simply labeled a call, is a contract between the buyer and the seller of the call option to exchange a security at a set price. The buyer of the call option has the right but not the obligation to buy an agreed quantity of a particular commodity or financial instrument from the seller of the option. on a stock index. In finance, a stock index or stock market index is an index that measures a stock market or a subset of the stock market that helps investors compare current price levels with past prices to calculate market performance. It is computed from the prices of selected stocks, gives you the right to buy the index, and a put option on a stock index, which gives you the right to sell the index. Options on stock indexes are similar to exchange traded funds, ETFs. The difference between that, ETF values change throughout the day, whereas the value on stock index options change at the end of each trading day. Therefore, profit loss on an index option is based on the market's closing price for the day, not on any price during the market's open hours. If an index option is exercised before the close of the market, the buyer of the option will in or out of the money honey for an additional amount equal to the difference between the closing price and the exercise price. If the market closes above the intraday exercise price, then the option will accrue an additional loss. And if the market closes below the intraday exercise price, the option will accrue an additional gain. For this reason, index options are typically closed after the market has closed. Wow, we're learning. What is index option trading and how does it work? From Investopedia, Note 1, retrieved 11th of February 2018. So relatively. They give an investor the right to buy or sell the underlying stock index for a defined time period. That was the note. What is index option trading and how does it work? Investopedia, retrieved 11th of February 2018. They give an investor the right to buy or sell the underlying stock index for a defined time period. Note 1. Investopedia, retrieved 11th of February 2018. And the last one is stock options of the tree. So it's a long read, so I'm not going to read it all. In finance, an option is a contract which conveys its owner, the holder, the right but not the obligation to buy or sell an underlying asset or instrument at a specified strike price prior to or on a specified date, depending on the form of the option. Options are typically acquired by purchase as a form of compensation or as part of a complex financial transaction. Thus, they are also a form of asset and have a valuation that may depend on a complex relationship between underlying asset value, time until expiration, market volatility, and other factors. Options may be traded between private parties in the over-the-counter transactions, OTC. Over-the-counter or off-exchange trading is done directly between two parties without the supervision of an exchange. It is contrasted with exchange trading, which occurs via exchanges. A stock exchange has the benefit of facilitating liquidity, providing transparency, and maintaining the currency. OTC, over-the-counter transactions. Options may be traded between private parties in over-the-counter transactions, or they may be exchange traded in live orderly markets, if you can call them orderly, I guess, orderly markets in the form of standardized contracts. So that's an option. And definition and application. An option is a contract that allows the buyer the right to buy or sell an underlying asset or financial instrument at a specified strike price on or before a specified date, depending on the form of the option. The strike price may be set by reference to the spot price, market price, of the underlying security or commodity on the day an option is taken out, or it may be fixed at a discount or at a premium. The seller has the corresponding obligation to fulfill the transaction to sell or buy if the buyer owner exercises the option. An option that conveys to the owner the right to buy a specific price is referred to as a call, while an option that conveys the right or the owner to sell at a specific price is referred to as a put. Historical usage, and then we have related bank financing, modern stock auctions. Modern stock options. Option contracts have been known for decades. The Chicago Board Options Exchange was established in 1973, which set up a regime using standardized forms and terms and trade through a guaranteed clearinghouse. Trading activity and academic interest has increased since then. Today, many options are created in a standardized form and traded through clearing houses on regulated options exchanges, while all other over-the-counter options are written as a bilateral, customized contracts between a single buyer and seller, one or both of which may be a dealer or market maker. Options are part of a larger class of financial instruments known as derivative products, or simply derivatives. In finance, the derivative is a contract that derives its value from the performance of an underlying entity. This underlying entity can be an asset, index, or interest rate, and is often simply called the underlying. Like my entity, the child, is my lord, H. Paradoxically, providentially, in a parallel way. Contract specifications and stock options, bond options, options of future contracts. So there's a lot of options. There you go. Long call, long short call, short option strategies, according commodity option, equity option, bond option, future option, index option, commodity option, currency option, swap option, American option, European option, Bermudan option, Asian option, binary option, exotic option. What is exotic? Any of a broad category of options that may include complex financial structures. Asian option whose payoff is determined by an average underlying price over some present time period. Binary option, an all or nothing option that pays the full amount if the underlying security meets the defined condition on expiration. Otherwise, it expires. Valuation models, basic decomposition, Black-Scholes model, surnames, Fisher Black and Byron Scholes, the surnames of the financial theorists, whatever. Short rate models, analytic techniques, binomial tree pricing model, Monte Carlo models, auto models, risks, and there's the financial equation which in a parallel life would have comprehended it best, hedge parameters, and all that. But it's so as to see also American Stock Exchange, Ascot Finance. Could be reading in the coffee for hours. So we'll continue this Coffee with Dragon from the Triple Witching Hour, and we're gonna move from here. 5:16 p.m. EST, 77 minutes in. I think that will suffice it. One last thing on stock options. Stock market, of course. Stock market, equity market, or share market is the aggregation of buyers and sellers of stocks which represent ownership claims on businesses. These may include securities listed on a public stock exchange as well as stock that is only traded privately, such as shares of private companies. God is blessed.